Hello everyone and welcome to Edu Bureau. I am Bhavna Kapoor. Today's topic is police reforms, where I'll be discussing about the need for police reforms, issues faced by the police forces, and the reforms that could be implemented, along with the previous history of attempted police reforms. There is a need for police reforms in India in the wake of the George Floyd incident in US and the ensuing protest in US against racism and police brutality. What are the issues faced by police in India? Slow filling of police vacancies, which further aggravates the understaffed situation. As per the data, more than 5 lakh vacancies exist in police forces as of January 2020. Police work under incomprehensible pressure as they are understaffed. India had in 2017 131 police officers per 1 lakh people. That is lower than the sanctioned number, that is 181, and United Nations recommended number, that is 222. Further, they live in poor living conditions. Police infrastructure is perennially underfunded, and with some notable exceptions, there are few efforts to improve them. They are poorly paid when compared to their counterparts in developed countries. They are usually beholden to corrupt and venal superiors. Prejudiced. Many policemen, like rest of Indians, carry prejudices hidden and not so hidden, which makes the performance uneven and unfair. There are complaints against the police abuse, including unwarranted arrest, unlawful searches, torture, and custodial rapes. There are instances where police often is involved in weak investigation cases. Well, over 50% of cases filed by the police, nearly 80% in rape cases, end up in acquittals. One of the reasons is that police often prioritize law and order over investigative matters. Further, the image of police is not so citizen friendly. Interactions with the police are generally considered frustrating, time consuming, and costly. There are also structural issues involved. 86% of the police force are constables who have no growth path other than a single promotion to head constable before they retire, and this pushes them to adopt the corrupt path, reducing the credibility of police. There is also low police trust. A study by CSDS, that the Center for the Studies of Developing Societies, found that less than 25% of Indians trust the police highly, and out of them 54% for army. There is lack of uniformity across India. Policing in India is a state subject, which means there is significant variations across states. There is also resource crunch. Between fiscal 2011 and 2015, states spent 4.4% of their budgeted expenditure on policing on average, but this has reduced to 4% over 2015 to 19. There has been frequent transfers also that often leads to dilution of accountability of police actions and inability to implement long-term reforms. What could be the way forward to implement police reforms? The Model Police Act of 2006 was circulated to all the states, but many of its fundamental principles that remains unfulfilled. There is a need for state to implement it in letter and spirit, considering the evolved scenario. There is a need to separate law and order from investigation. Need to have an independent complaints authority to inquire into complaints of police misconduct. There should be a check against such abuse of power, and there has to be internal accountability to senior police officers and independent police oversight authorities. Further, there should be increase in the funding of police and improvement in infrastructure that reduces the incentives for corruption. There is a need for sensitization of police when dealing with public, especially during sensitive issues like rape and dowry. There is a need for modernization of police forces in the light of growing cyber crimes. And most importantly, there is a need for decriminalization of politics. Police reforms are not implemented due to lack of political will, which in turn could be linked to the growing criminalization of politics. Here you can see India's long history of attempted police reforms from the year 1977 to 2018. That includes committee reforms by National Police Committee, Justice Thomas Committee, Malimat Committee, and Supreme Court's directives, among others. Thus, reforms need to be implemented properly for a robust policing system in our country. With this, I end my today's video. Thank you and take care.